Hi folks, Neil here from ECS Coffee. Today we're going to be having a look at La Specialista from Delonghi. It's a new entry into the sub $1,000 price point espresso machine category in Canada, going up kind of against Breville Barista Express as a new entry. We really like the machine, a lot of really cool features to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an overview of the machine, what's kind of special about it. We're going to make a couple of drinks and show you why we think this is going to be a huge hit. So let's start with the overall look. We think Delonghi has nailed it with the look. It looks a little bit commercial, full stainless steel housing, this really cool shiny black piece on the front with the nice white lights, your traditional pressure gauge on the front, which is great. Even the drip tray we really like. It's a stainless, so it's nothing plastic about it, which is really, really good. Overall, aesthetically, we think it's fantastic. The height is 17.5 inches tall, which depending on your upper cabinets could be an issue. So before you go ahead and look at this machine, you may want to just double check, because you do want to have access to the hopper. I mean, some of the time, most time, you have to slide these things out anyway, regardless, because you do need, I think the Breville's 15 or so high, but you need to slide them out to get the beans in anyway. So just be aware of that 17.5 total height on this guy. 250 gram hopper on the top, and we have a 2-liter water tank at the back of the machine. In our world, not ideal to be at the back of the machine. We'd prefer that if one of these companies would kind of do it on the front, so you can pull out the water tank, or the side. But it seems to be there's a lot going on here, and it's pretty standard for in this price point, in this style of machine, that you're going to have a water tank on the back. But 2 liters is a good size. So let's see, go over kind of some of the really neat features about this machine. We're going to go and show you how they all work, but we have a built-in tamper, which we think is really great after the coffee is ground. We have a rinse button, which will not only preheat your portafilter, but also rinse it out ahead of time. We have a hot water for tea button, and we have 3 preset sizes: espresso, Americano, and coffee. And for the Americano and for your hot water, you might notice there's this little extra spout here that gives you your water separately, so the water's not coming through the portafilter for the Americano. We also have a steam wand on the side, flat and foam, very easy to use, and I am terrible at milk frothing, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just not good at it, because I typically drink espressos and Americanos more so than lattes and cappuccinos, so I've never really learned it. And I'm a guy that likes push buttons. I like to push a button, get a coffee. But for those that want hands-on, we're going to go through some of the different things and show you how they all work and why we think this is going to give the Breville Barista Express a run for its money. So we'll start with 6 grind settings. They're all in the espresso range from fine to coarse. And we also have here the level of grind, so how much grind you're going to get. With these machines, typically if you're using the same coffee, you can kind of set it and forget it. But as you change coffees and you kind of change your drinks, you may have to adjust it slightly. Never use oily beans in these machines. I know a lot of people like to go to box stores because they think they're getting a great deal on coffee beans. You'll pay for it in the end fixing your espresso machine, because the oils will screw up your grinder. This grinder has 2 built-in sensors, one to tell you that there's no beans left, there's beans in it, and it doesn't time the grind. It does it it counts the RPMs, which is a little more consistent than a timed grinder, so how many RPMs you get. One of the neat features on this grind level is if you turn it to the scoop, that's for your decaf, which will enable you to use the tamping station just as a tamping station and not as an actual grinder. So we're going to turn it back up to just around the 9 o'clock area. We're going to use a double. We're going to make a few drinks. So we'll start with basically a double espresso. I've got my double portafilter here, nice and heavy, nice and solid. We pressed our ×2 because we're using a double, and we'll just pop this guy in here like so. And of course, first time on camera. There we go. Clicks it, starts the grind. And one of the challenges with these guys is typically you'd have to take this out when you're done, get your tamper, and know what your pressure's like. And what Delonghi's done here is they put a tamper built right in. So as soon as it's done grinding, you just pull this guy down. Now I like to do it 3 times. No real set reason why, but 3 seems logical to me. And you'll notice that the coffee's ground. And if you get a close-up here, I'm not sure if you can see this, Jack, get you to zoom right in on this little line here. As long as you're kind of below that line, for the coffee, you should be good. So that's something you want to be aware of. And that's where you play with your grind amount here and your fineness and your coarseness. So now that we're done here, we're going to go over to We have our hot water, our heated top here for our espresso cups, and I've got a little cool little flip down tray here, which I really like too. It's a nice little feature. And let's just do double right into our espresso cup here. So we're going to go over to espresso on the front here. We've got the double shot, and we're going to hit OK and see what happens. Now sometimes you can be a little too fast, a little too slow, depending on your grind and the amount. Let's see how we did here. It's a little fast. Might have to adjust that for the next one, but overall you can see we're getting a nice crema. Just running a little bit fast. And there we go. Done with the espresso. So nice and quick, nice and easy. Decent crema. I could do better. And we're done. Now I'm just going to tap this out to our knock box. And then we can, one of the things we can do is, I'm going to show you the rinse feature here. You can press this, it's going to rinse through your group head here. You can also put this guy in here as well. Stop it, I'll do that again to show you guys. Neat rinse feature, which we really like. Kind of cleans out your portafilter. And we'll stop that there. And then we're going to go on to making ourselves an Americano. So let's turn this guy over here. Same thing as before. We're going to take a portafilter, we pop it in here, we've got our double in, we click it over, off it goes. And we're done. Again, I made this mistake the first time I used it. I took it out, but you got to remember, tamp inside. Okay, so again, I do 3 for no apparent reason other than that's the number I like. Oh, let's do 4. Got a nice tamp here, so we'll pop over and we're going to grab our larger Americano glass, and you can kind of see I'm lining it up so that we get the water out of here as well. We've got this knob turned to Americano, we've got our double pressed, and we're going to press OK. And unlike some espresso machines we have to move to get water separately, this is going to do it all in one, which is nice. So unlike the coffee section functionality on this, the Americano will do pre-infusion, the coffee will not. I don't really know why they have to have a coffee in here, to be honest with you. I think the Americano does the job. The coffee is only a 5 ounce. The Americano is actually a larger cup. So I actually prefer the Americano in this machine. But in North America, we still have that belief sometimes that we need a drip style coffee. It's a European coffee, it's an espresso-based coffee, it's not going to be like your drip coffee, so don't think you're going to get your Tim Hortons out of this, because you're not. It's going to be way better. But I like the Americano function. I'm not sure coffee was necessary, but it is a nice feature to have on there anyway. So there's the Americano. Like I said, you play with your beans and your settings and your grind to sort of set it up the way you like it. You can actually pre-program using the My button your drinks. We haven't done any of that. We're kind of playing it with the presets, but you can pre-program the 3 drinks so that they're set for you when you come to the machine. And here is our beautiful Americano, filling the glass. So now we're going to go over and we're going to make ourselves a cappuccino. And let's see how this milk thing works, because I am not the pro, like I said before, milk. But what we'll do is we will dump this guy out to our knock box, and we're going to go with the double again. Again, I like doubles, because why would you have a single? It's more caffeine. Click it over. We'll go to espresso. So we're done. Again, temp. Let's go for 3. I really like this. The bigger problem I find with the self-tamping is it just makes a mess. And you need a tamping mat, and you can score your countertop, and you need to get right enough pressure. I really like the idea that this kind of keeps it nice and clean for you. And over we go. So let's see what happens when we do a cappuccino. So we're going to start with the, again, I like to do doubles because that's just me. So times 2, we've got espresso, we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to go to get the milk, the fun stuff. One other feature of this machine, it will prompt you to descale, and this knob over here does have a descale functionality that you turn it to for the program. So makes it a little bit easier. Something else this machine has is 2 heating systems. So you've got your thermal block for the espresso and the coffee portion. You have a separate heating system for your milk, so you don't have to worry about that wait time. Okay, so we got our double shots. Now I'm just gonna put that over to the side for a minute, and we're gonna just play with our milk and see what we can do. Grab the milk from my assistant on the side here. So we've just, we're using 2% because it happens to be what I have. Articulating arm, which I kind of like, but you know what I'll do? I'm gonna take the portafilter out just for fun. Move that out of the way for now. And I'm just gonna put this in here, and I'm gonna go for, you have flat for your lattes and foam for your cappuccinos. And I'm just gonna turn the milk on and see what happens. We'll just leave it be, and we'll see what we can get out of it. Takes a few seconds to get going. And it will turn itself off. You can turn the knob and turn it off if you like, but I'm gonna just leave it and let it turn itself off and see what happens. Again, separate heating system from the coffee. Seems like we're almost getting done. I would probably stop it now if I was doing the frothing myself. We're getting near the top of the milk, so let's just see if it stops on its own. I'm gonna stop it now. Maybe I was a little ambitious with that. Well, anyway, so we've got our foam. Looks not too bad, pretty solid foam. Let's pour in and see what happens. Again, I'm terrible with foam, so you have to forgive me. That's not bad though. If you look at that cappuccino, considering we literally did nothing with the wand, and typically with the wands you do have to play with it and raise, raise your milk frothing container up and down to get it right. That was pretty good considering I didn't do a darn thing. So you've got a solid cappuccino here. Wipe off your wand, and you're off to go. So overall, guys, I really like this machine for the less than sub $1,000 market, where you get some functionality manually, you got to do some stuff, but also it's almost like a semi-automatic. It's doing a lot of the stuff for you. You've got great adjustments with your grinder. You've got your hot water, your rinse button. You've got your hot water feature for your Americano. You've got 3 presets. You've got a very easy to use milk system, which I really, really like, considering how bad I am at it. No mess with the smart tamping. The 2 heating systems in there. And again, aesthetically a wonderful machine. One of the great things that I haven't mentioned yet about Delonghi, where they just destroy the competition, is it's a 2 plus 1 year warranty. So it's a 2-year warranty, but if you're registering your machine as soon as you get it and it's right inside the box, you get an extra year. You can't beat that in this market. So 3 years on this machine, which is something that I think is a wonderful, really smart move on Delonghi's behalf. Again, come by and see us in Burlington or Ancaster, online at ecscoffee.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on YouTube or reach out to one of us. We're more than happy to help. Have a great day.